Are you ready to see Blonde Carolyn? Like Walt Whitman, I contain multitudes. Today is August 11th, and I'm sure you can tell by the quality of this video, I am using a new camera. This has been my and my husband's dream camera for over a year, and we finally got it. I'm so happy about it. So we got a Sony a6700 with a Sigma lens. It is the 18 to 50 millimeter lens. It is a dream. It is an absolute dream. Lately, I have been thinking a lot about my career and content creation and art and writing and reading and just my career in general. And I've really been feeling like I want to make some kind of change and I want to progress further in the content that I'm making, in the quality of the content that I'm making. I've been wanting a new camera literally for years. In one of my recent videos, I actually talked about how my old camera always overexposed me and made me look like an absolute ghost. And I can't believe that I can see myself as I actually look in person. I feel like I'm gonna ramble so much because I have so many thoughts going on in my head all at once. So if you don't know, I recently had a vow renewal and wedding ceremony for my New York family. In 2024, Leon and I got married overseas, and all of his friends and family were there. But because of the great distance and people's schedules, my family, I have a very large extended family, it just wasn't feasible for them all to go. And so we planned from 2024, that we would have a New York ceremony or vow renewal in a couple of years. There have been so many little details. So we did a backyard garden wedding because my parents have a beautiful garden, and I thought it would be the perfect place to have this party. We planned all of it ourselves, and I made so many little things for it. It was just so much work, but work that paid off. I can't even express how perfect everything came together. I kept saying to my husband and even my parents that once the vow renewal party is over, I really feel like a new chapter is beginning. I have a clean slate. I'm going to reflect on what I've been doing, and I want to focus on my future. I want to think about changes I want to make. I want to think about how to make my daily life more functional. And one of the things that I've really been wanting to do is better the quality of my content. I love beautiful cinematic videos. I love photography. My husband is very into nature photography, so he can't wait to use this camera for nature photography, and we are just so excited, and I feel incredibly lucky to be able to have a community of people who care about the things that I read, that I draw and paint and create, and to show my photos with you and different things. So anyway, I've been feeling so grateful lately and so excited for this new chapter in my life. This video is going to be a weekly vlog this week. There is a lot of exciting things going on, which is why I wanted to vlog it. I really feel like this is the week that my life resets, and I'm reading a lot more. I'm getting back into my reading routine because in July I didn't have a lot of time to read at all, and I'm just so excited about all these different things. Also, the thing I'm most excited about is on Friday, I am going to Staten Island, which I've never been to Staten Island before. I'm going to Staten Island with Leon to get highlights in my hair, because this is another thing that I've been wanting to do for years. When I was younger, my hair was platinum blonde. I will show pictures for evidence. And after I became, let's say, 10 or 11 years old, my hair started getting darker and darker and darker. I'm sure you have heard this. People that were blonde as children always feel like they are blonde, and even though I am clearly not blonde, I feel like I am. And I used to get highlights when I was in high school, and then I stopped, and this is all of my natural color. I've been growing out my hair. I haven't done any color to my hair since 2017. I never really straightened my hair. I did a couple of months ago to surprise my husband because he had never seen my hair straight. And I don't do a lot of things to my hair because I really try and do my best to take care of it. And my hair is at its healthiest state right now. And I feel like that's a great time to do something to your hair when it's in a healthy state. Because when I used to dye my hair and bleach my hair a lot, it was on very dead and damaged hair because I would also straighten it all the time. So anyway, I am finally getting highlights this Friday. I had to move because my camera got hot, so I just changed one of the settings and it should be better. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm so excited. I am rambling so much. I am really happy to be putting a little bit more blonde in my hair, and I will reveal it at some point this week because it's happening on Friday. Today is Tuesday, so I thought it would be fun to document this week. So take in the brown. I'm not going to go too blonde. It's mainly just some subtle highlights, but I'm very, very excited about it. So anyway, what else? I got some new shoes recently from Sam Edelman. I got a pair of ballet flats and mules, like the slip-in little heels. I got some new shirts and a skirt because, again, I am just in this mode. It almost feels like spring cleaning where I want to clean everything. I've been going through my closet. Last night, Leon and I were going through my clothes. I was trying stuff on, getting rid of things, keeping things. I just really feel like I'm in a moment of my life where it's just like I'm a new person. I was in my cocoon, and then the wedding happened, and I came out of my cocoon on the wedding day, and then now I am just a free floating butterfly. So I am enjoying my new butterfly form, and I'm just feeling so excited, and I hope that you're doing really well. I would love to know what is making you excited. I'm really excited about this new camera, getting my hair done. I am finally reading more. I am really getting back into my reading groove, and I've been thinking a lot about what kind of content I want to make relating to my reading plans. I'm really excited to reprioritize my reading life and therefore make content that I'm really excited to be making. I feel like this year started with so much excitement. I read and fell in love with Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte, and I started my Jane Austen personal curriculum, which I did not continue. Oh, and I read The Call of the Wild and White Fang by Jack London, and I loved it. This year, I had so much excitement, and I was reading so many incredible books, so many incredible classics. I was writing a lot of essays and book reviews that I was really proud of, and I just want to get back to that, and I want to start making a bit more short form content, and I just have so many ideas, and I'm so excited. And anyway, so to talk about the books that I am currently reading, I should mention that I am so grateful for everyone that is in the Well-Read Book Club. So that is the book club that I host on Fable. You can join for free. There's always a link in my description. Every month we read from a different genre to become well-read and well-rounded readers. And I love every one of you that is in the book club because you are the kindest, most understanding people ever. So everyone in the book club knew, because I've been updating them, that my life has been very hectic, and the book that was chosen for July and August, I extended it into August. Usually we just get 1 month for each book. It was Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, which is, I put it back on my TBR shelf, if that's any indication as to what I'm getting at. So I realized that I don't have enough time to read it and enjoy it by the time that I'm supposed to finish it for the book club. And I've been really acknowledging the fact that even though I am the host of this book club, I still deserve to enjoy the reading experience and not be incredibly pressured, because life happens, and I want everyone in the book club to feel like they can join or they don't have to join every month. You can join and take however long you want. And I just want to chat with you. I just want to have a group of people that are kind to one another, respect one another, love literature, love talking about books, and that's exactly what the Well-Read Book Club is. One of the book club members named Alex said this, and it really warmed my heart. She said, "It's the exact reason I love this book club so much, Carolyn, that you and everyone else here is so understanding and chill about skipping a few books for any reason. There's no pressure to read here. So naturally it applies to the moderator herself," and she put a little heart. "It's not school, and all of us here, we read because we all love doing it, which is a relief, honestly. Joining this book club is one of the best decisions I ever made. Congratulations for your vow renewal, so happy for you." And that just warmed my heart so much because that is my exact goal for a book club. I don't want it to feel very pressuring. I don't want it to be stressful. I just want everyone to join when they want to join, skip when they want to skip, and have it be very relaxed. And I'm so glad and honored that the members of this book club want the same for me as well, even though I am the moderator and the host of the book club. So I am putting Lonesome Dove aside because I think I will enjoy it so much more if I don't pressure myself and rush through it. I'm really enjoying it, but I think it deserves more time and attention than I can give it right now. And so again, I have a clean slate of what I am reading. Also for the Game of Tomes book club, which is the other book club I co-host with Emma, we have been reading the Anne of Green Gables series, and then we are starting to read The Idiot for the final quarter of 2026 by Fyodor Dostoevsky. That is starting in September. And so I think what I'm going to do with the Anne books is read them a little bit more slowly until the end of the year or just through the autumn, because I've really been missing having more freedom in my reading life. And there are so many books that I wanted to read this summer that I haven't gotten a chance to read. I haven't had time for them. So one of those books I am currently reading, and I feel invigorated because I am reading the books that I wanted to read that are summery and that are fitting the mood that I'm in right now. And that's really exciting. So the book that I am currently reading, I only have about 29 pages left. That is A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr. I am loving this book so much. It's so meditative and thoughtful and quiet. It is set in the countryside in England during the summer. We are following this character, Tom Birkin, who is uncovering a medieval wall painting in a church in a town called Oxgoodby. And he's reflecting on his time as a soldier in the war and how that has affected him. It's about the people that he meets in this town and how even though he is new to this town, how he kind of becomes part of it very quickly. And I think that that's such a beautiful exploration of being new to a place and how that place then becomes part of you even though it hadn't been part of you in the past. I find that very interesting. I'm loving the way that Tom is talking about his relationship with art and with the original painter of this wall painting. This story feels so delicate and tender and beautiful, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And it is only about 103 pages, and I am on page 74 or 75. So I can't wait to finish the last section of the book, and then I will give you all of my final thoughts at the end. And then the other book that I started was another book that was on my summer classics TBR, and this is a book I have been meaning to read for years and years and years, and that is from one of my favorite writers who I haven't read from in such a long time. It's E.M. Forster's A Passage to India. This is one of his most beloved stories, and I can completely see why. I decided to listen to the audiobook for this one because it has a really great narrator, and his name is Sam Dastor. I'm loving the way that E.M. Forster is exploring the relationship between the native Indian people and the British tourists that are visiting India, and how they view one another, how they feel about one another. This book like A Month in the Country, feels very meditative and thoughtful. You feel the setting and you feel like you're being introduced to the characters as if you're being introduced to someone in real life. I love the way that Ian Forster explores society, societal norms, the way that people interact with one another, cultural differences, social differences, and it's such an interesting read so far. I'm really, really enjoying it, so I can't wait to keep listening to this one. I did feel a little bit guilty listening to the audiobook instead of reading it physically, but I really feel like we need to get over that feeling, we as a society. Although I would love to read this physically, I don't think I would have the time to read this physically as well as read the other books that I want to read. And I love listening to audiobooks when I fold laundry, when I do chores around the house, when I cook dinner, when I work out. In a minute, I'm going to work out and I'm going to listen to this audiobook. I actually recently just filmed a video about audiobooks, so I'll link that if you didn't see it. But anyway, very excited to be reading this one and A Month in the Country. Anyway, I have been rambling for longer than I intended because I am so excited. Yeah. Perfect.
I love it.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Right there. Perfection.
All right. All right,
So good.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on one side.
It is now 9:15 and we have had an extremely busy day and I have done no reading, but I do have some very exciting things to tell you. The first thing, you just saw that we hung up this beautiful Monet painting. We used this as our seating chart, kind of the background of our seating chart for the vow renewal, and it came out so beautifully and it fit the vibe and the atmosphere of the day so perfectly. And all of the little elements that we used during the wedding, I really wanted them all to be reusable after the wedding. I feel like there are so many different kinds of decorations, especially for weddings, like a card box or signs that you use for the day and then you put them in a closet and you never see them ever again. So everything that we bought for the wedding or incorporated in the wedding day, we want to reuse, and then we will always remember that it was part of the wedding day, and this painting is one of them. So we used it as part of our seating chart, and now we get to hang it on the wall and look at it all the time and be reminded that it was such a beautiful part of our wedding day, which I think is really, really special. Then Leon and I have been wanting to get new pairs of shoes because we have a lot of sneakers and casual shoes and then a lot of fancier dress shoes. He has dress shoes, I have a lot of heels, and we don't have a lot of in between. Like I said earlier in the video, I bought 2 pairs of Sam Edelman shoes and then he wanted to look at boat shoes. What's so nice about a boat shoe or a ballet flat or a nice mule like the one that I got, not a mule like the animal, but a mule like the shoe that you slip in your foot. I think that there's such a perfect in between of being casual, functional, but also kind of a little bit dressy. You can dress them up and dress them down really easily. I don't know if you know the store DSW, but we went there and they have such a great selection of shoes. Unfortunately, they didn't have a wide and Leon wanted a wide, so we just ordered them online. But we were on our way out of DSW and we were just going to go home and order the shoes. But then on our way out, I saw this and I had to get it. Oh my gosh. It is a hot pink beaded bag and there are beaded elements on the strap and on the whole front and the sides. It's such an adorable bag. So This whole spring and summer, my sister has been going to Marshall's and obsessing over the beaded bags that they have. And my sister has 2 beaded bags. This is the thing that happens when you have a sister. When she buys something cute, then you want something cute. You want that thing too. So ever since she showed me her beaded bags, I have been wanting one. But I haven't found one that has really called to me until I saw this beauty. It reminded me a lot of Elle Woods. I love Legally Blonde. Elle Woods is one of my favorite fictional characters. She honestly reminds me a lot of myself, a lot of myself. I don't know why that sounded incorrect. I love Elle. I just recently watched the new series they came out that's a prequel to Legally Blonde where Elle Woods is in high school, and I loved it. And I just felt like this is so me. I don't always gravitate towards wearing a lot of hot pink, but I think with an accessory, I think this is just going to make every outfit so much fun. All of that to say, like Walt Whitman, I contain multitudes, and I love being able to have a bag that is really fun and girly, but also wear things that are very elegant and classy, and be really intellectually stimulated. You know, I love reading classic literature, but I also love a hot pink beaded bag, you know? I hope that this makes sense, but anyway, I absolutely love this. It was also on sale, so it was perfect. Did we go there mainly to get Leon a pair of shoes and we left with a hot pink beaded bag for me? Yes, that is what happened, but we did just order the shoes for Leon, so at least we did that. I wanted to show you the bag because I feel like it encompasses the feeling that I've been trying to describe, and it's adorable, so I thought you might like to see it. But now it is time to read, so I'm going to be reading A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr, and I think I'm going to finish it tonight. I'm going to try finishing it, and I'll let you know my thoughts probably in the morning. Someone in the audience has asked, what can city people do? we just got to Staten Island, and I wanted to show you my hair. We were in a bit of a rush, so I didn't film anything yet. So, before... Okay, are you ready to see Blonde Carolyn? Here she is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it so much. It is exactly what I wanted, and I couldn't be happier. I love how it looks with a middle part. I love how it looks when I toss my hair to the side and I have a little bit of a side part, even though it falls. I love how it looks from this side. I have been having so much fun with my hair ever since I got it done. And today is Monday. I got my hair done on Friday, and then I didn't tell anybody. I surprised my sister, I surprised my friends. We had my best friend Brian's birthday on Saturday, and I got to surprise everybody that was there, and their reactions were so great, and it has been so much fun. It's weird. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but because I was blonde as a child, and as I got older it got darker, I feel so much more like myself, and I always visualize myself blonde, and how I am right now, like looking at myself, seeing myself in the viewfinder, that is how my brain sees myself, even when, like, that's how I feel like the world sees me, but I'm not this blonde, you know, this unfortunately isn't natural. But what I love is the way that my wonderful stylist did it. It feels so natural, and it feels like this is just the result of me being out in the sun for a very long time. My hair does naturally get a little bit lighter at the ends, but this is clearly much more than just being out in the sun, and I love it so much. It looks a little bit more yellow on the camera. I tried adjusting the settings, but it didn't really do much, so just so you know, it is a little bit more beigey in person and a little bit less yellow, but it still looks so beautiful on the camera, and I could not be happier with it. So I had the most wonderful experience. We went to Staten Island for the first time. Leon very kindly went with me and just occupied himself for 5 hours in a cafe nearby while I got my hair done. And I went to the Lauren Cicero hair company and salon in Staten Island, and I will leave the website down below. They did not ask me to make a review for this video, or they don't even know that I'm filming a vlog. I actually didn't even tell them. I told them that I was a booktuber and an illustrator and a writer, but I didn't tell them that I was documenting my hair journey because I was a bit embarrassed. But I had the most wonderful experience. All of the stylists were so friendly. I left feeling like $1,000,000. They were just complimenting my curls and how beautiful the blonde looks on me and how it makes my eyes pop, and they were just being so kind. I left there feeling like $1,000,000. In case you're wondering, my stylist's name was Sabrina, and she is the kindest person. I loved getting to know her because when you're sitting in a hair salon for 5 hours, chatting with everyone there, mainly your hairstylist, it's such a wonderful experience to just chat with a stranger, get to know somebody. It really felt like she and I just became friends, like naturally, just really jived and meshed really well together. Really quick interjection, this video isn't super bookish. I was editing it yesterday and realized I've mainly been talking about shoes, a hot pink beaded bag, getting my hair done, and this feels a lot more like beauty content and lifestyle content than bookish content, but that's kind of what I want to introduce a bit more in my videos, just because I love, and I know I've talked about this in the past, but I love fashion, beauty, lifestyle content so much, and I'd love to incorporate that into my videos more. I know many of you have asked for my curly hair routine, which I shared in the past, but I would love to share an updated version with you. But anyway, so I hope you don't mind that I'm going to talk a bit about my hair and different things, but I do have reading updates. I finished A Month in the Country, which I loved and I can't wait to tell you about. I'm reading another summary book that I'm really loving, and I have an update on A Passage to India. So I will be giving you some bookish updates as well, but I just wanted to give you my full hair experience because I think it's fun and I'm just so excited I want to tell you about it. So if you're wondering, my hairstylist's name was Sabrina. She was so great. I asked for a full head of highlights, and the toner that she did, I asked for a neutral leaning cool toned toner and something a bit more beige. I don't really love when my hair looks yellowish or warm just because I have cool undertones. And something that I've noticed that I really love about this blonde is it really softens up my whole appearance. I feel like I benefit because I have a lot of soft round features. I benefit from having a softer appearance which has lower contrast. So I'm sure you've heard, if you haven't, there has been this phenomenon going around online about color analysis and high contrast and low contrast and medium contrast, and I find it so interesting because it all relates to my interest in color theory and what looks good on people and fashion and what suits you and really just enhancing your natural beauty, feeling confident and expressing yourself in so many different ways. I love expressing myself in the books that I read, in the clothes that I wear, in the way that I style my hair, and I just love being able to express myself in different ways, and I love doing makeup, and so this is just in my wheelhouse, and I've really noticed that I love how I look with softer features, including the color of my hair. I just really feel like this suits me very well. The main moral of this whole video and this whole week and where I am in my life is just really embracing how I feel and being in my true butterfly form. Like I said earlier in the video, I really feel like I was in a bit of a cocoon and I am now my true butterfly form. This is how I see myself, and it's so wonderful to feel like I am going out in the world in the way that I see myself, and that's how people will also see me. I don't know if this will make any sense, but that's just how I've been feeling. So I hope that you like my hair. I absolutely love it. I don't know if I showed you the back, but the back looks so beautiful. I had to go to the salon with straight hair because it's easier to weave the hair and get the proper sections to then back comb and highlight. So you can either get very fast acting bleach, which lightens your hair very quickly, or you can get lower acting bleach, which processes more slowly. And the lower acting bleach gives you more of a chance to make sure that you're maintaining the health of your hair. And the lower acting bleach, that's definitely not the proper term, but she used that on my hair and she really made sure that my curls wouldn't be damaged and that I would still maintain the health of my hair, which is my main priority. Of course, I really want to be blonde and lighter, but I want my hair to be healthy. That's my main priority. And they definitely made that a point. Sabrina made it very clear that she will maintain the health of my hair above all else. If she can't do something because it will damage a person's hair, she will tell them she can't do it. Some stylists don't really care and they will do whatever you ask for, even if it will damage your hair. So that's why I really loved going there as well, because I knew that they were skilled at what they were doing, and Sabrina made it very clear that she cared about the health of my hair and loved my curls so much, and she wants them to be as healthy as possible. And I have to say that before I went to the hair salon, my hair was... I lose a lot of hair just because every day we're all supposed to lose about 100 strands of hair every day, and I don't wash my hair every day. So every time I wash my hair, I have a good amount of shedding, because I don't wash my hair every day, and it's just your natural hair life cycle. It was weird. I was expecting to have more hair in my hairbrush from the fact that I got it chemically processed, but when I showered and washed my hair last night, I didn't have that much hair. I had less hair than I normally do in my hairbrush, and even when I was raking in the styling products that I put in my hair, I had a lot less shedding. So impeccable to see that, because that means that my hair is still incredibly healthy. So I have Sabrina to thank for that. And she also gave me a haircut, and I love the way that she cut my hair. What I love is that when my hair will begin to grow out, it will have a very natural grow out, because all of my natural hair color is still maintained at the root, so it won't have a harsh line or anything, which is again what I wanted. I don't know if I finished saying this earlier. I will put on the screen my inspiration photos. These are the photos that I showed to Sabrina. In many of these photos, you will see the actress Kerry Russell. This is especially her in the 90s. I love her hair so much. I have been pining over this kind of blonde curls for years, for so many years. And I do feel like I am channeling more Kerry Russell in my current hair color now, and that makes me so happy. Really quickly, before I get into the books, I wanted to show you that the shoes that I kept mentioning in the video, they got here, and I love them so much. Again, this is not sponsored. I'm just so excited about finally getting more shoes that are in between fancy and casual. And so the first pair that I got are these Sam Edelman, I think they're called the Ruthie flats, and I have a very small foot. I am a very small person. If you can't tell, I'm 5 feet tall. So my size shoe is a 5 in US sizing, and a lot of stores don't have 5s actually in the stores, but you can order 5s online. So that is what I did with these. I think that they are so elegant and beautiful, and I love I've been wanting leather flats. I don't think these are real leather, by the way. I am vegan, and I do feel like people are going to be like, wait, why did you get something leather? I'm 99.9% sure they're vegan. Please don't yell at me. So they're so comfortable. Usually with flats, you have to wear them in, and I got these the other day, and like I said, I had my friend Brian's birthday party on Saturday. I wore these the entire day on Saturday, and they felt so comfortable, which I had a different pair of flats. I forgot the brand that they were. They were a bit more of like a comfort fit, but they hurt more than these did, and these are definitely more of like a fashion ballet flat, and they were so comfortable. So they're a bit more of a narrower style. They don't come in a wide, so if you have a wider foot, these might not be the best for you, but they are so comfortable. I love them, and I'm going to get a ton of wear out of them because they're exactly what I've been looking for years now. And I feel I am the kind of person where I will like pine after a certain type of dress or shoe or bag, but I feel very guilty buying unnecessary things because I have other shoes, I have other dresses and bags that I don't need something new. But lately I'm in this new mood of just like wanting to refresh and wanting to look the way that I feel, if that makes sense. Again, same kind of concept that I've been talking about. I'm finally getting the things that I've always wanted, which is just exciting because I work so hard at my job, at what I do. I am a very hard worker, and it's so great to feel like you can treat yourself. I think we all deserve to treat ourselves. Yes, anyway, tangent, okay. The other shoes that I got are the mules, and these are the ones that you just slip your foot into, so they have a little bit of a heel. I forgot the name of these, but I can put it on the screen. And they are the perfect, adorable, slight heel, like summer shoe, where you want to wear a sandal, but you want it to be a little bit fancier. And since I am very short, I love a good little heel. So, and they're very, very comfortable. The heel is a bit heavy, so when I walk, they do have quite a big clap, but I like that. I'm very, very happy to finally have the shoes that I've been wanting for so long. So that is my shoe update. Okay, thank you so much for bearing with me while I ramble on about my hair and shoes and different things. So now it is time to finally talk about books. Like I said, I did finish A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr, and I really, really loved it. What I am so impressed by about this book and what it showed me is that shorter novellas can be just as meditative, thoughtful, powerful, intricate, and transformative as much longer novels. What J.L. Carr did in this book was truly baffling because he created so much development. There was such a great arc in this story, and it didn't feel too short nor too long, which is baffling because usually I feel like with short stories or short novellas, oftentimes I want more and I feel like there isn't enough, but this felt like just enough. It is set in 1920s in a small village town called Oxcodby in England. It's very pastoral. There are so many beautiful descriptions of the landscape. This time of year is perfect to read this book. I believe this is set in August. If not, I think it is set in August. And oh my gosh, there's so many lines that I want to read to you. Before I read to you, I do think I have to explain that the main character, Tom Birkin, is experiencing life after being a soldier in World War I and dealing with shell shock, and he finds refuge in this town of Oxcodby by uncovering a medieval wall painting in the church in this town. And it's about all the different kinds of people he meets, how he becomes immersed into the town and into the people's lives, how they affect his life, and his connection to the original painter of this wall painting. To give you a taste of the writing, I think this is the first thing that I dog-eared, which if you are not a fan of dog-earing, I apologize, but I am, so bear with me. That night, for the first time during many months, I slept like the dead, and next morning awoke very early. In fact, I didn't sleep long after daybreak on any of the succeeding Oxcodby days. The work was tiring. I was on my feet most of each day, often eating while standing, and then at night, up there in my loft, high above the fields and away from the road, too far for voices to carry, there was nothing to disturb me. Sometimes, awaking momentarily, I heard a vixen howling at the edge of some distant wood, or the scream of some small creature set upon in the darkness. For the rest, only the sounds of an ancient building, a tremor of the bell rope coming down and out through the hole in the floor, a stir in the roof timbers, stone still settling after 500 years. It's just this really great sense of atmosphere and place, and the descriptions are stunning throughout this entire book. At one point in the story, he describes the weather as Tennyson weather, meaning the poet Tennyson. So he says, "Deep red hollyhocks pressed against the limestone wall, and velvet butterflies flopped lazily from flower to flower. It was Tennyson weather, drowsy, warm, unnaturally still." He described it as a poet's weather, meaning the kinds of atmosphere and the kind of essence that is in Tennyson's poems, he felt in this kind of weather. I just thought that was such a beautiful way to describe the weather. And I love a good literary reference. A really great theme in the book is asking yourself, what if? So as time goes by, I do think it's very easy for all of us to question our decisions and to maybe have regrets. What if I did this? What if I did that? What if I didn't do this? What if I didn't do that? As enticing as asking those questions is, I do think there is so much beauty and acceptance, and that's something that Tom Birkin experiences. He's speaking from 1978, so he's reflecting from 1978 back reflecting onto 1920, and he asks himself, if I'd stayed there, would I always have been happy? No, suppose not. People move away, grow old, die, and the bright belief that there will be another marvelous thing around each corner fades. It is now or never. We must snatch at happiness as it flies. And so really kind of having this live each day to the fullest mentality, because as easy as it is to ask ourselves, what if, that can only take us so far, that can only create more regret. Rather than living in the moment, you're living in the regrets of the past. And that is beautifully explored in this book, not just in that section, but throughout the whole narrative. I want to share more, but I feel like the rest would be too much of a spoiler. I want to talk about how much I love the connection between Tom Birkin and the original painter of the wall painting that he's uncovering. He can almost learn about the original painter by the way that he used brush strokes, by the materials that is coming off of the wall, by the kinds of colors that he used. And so Tom Birkin is really sort of uncovering the man that created the painting just as he's uncovering the painting itself. And as an artist and an art history nerd, I love those kinds of conversations, those kinds of connections between viewer and artist. I think the relationship between a conservationist and a painting and the painter is so fascinating, as well as the relationship between a viewer and a painting. When we each go into a museum, we have a response to the paintings that we see or the sculptures that we see, and I love exploring that relationship. I think it's incredibly interesting, and it's explored so beautifully in this book. Something else that I really loved about this book is the connection that Tom creates with the town of Oxgoodby. It reminded me a lot of my experience living in Bristol for a year while Leon did his master's in Bristol. Bristol was only a name to me. It was only the name of a city before I lived there, and now it feels like a second home that I miss so much. I often look back at my videos that I filmed in Bristol and my photos from Bristol, and it really feels like a home away from home. But I'd only lived there on and off for a year, and I had no connection to it before. So I love the relationship that we have to place and how we naturally sort of become entwined in a place even after a very short amount of time. I know that a lot of people say when they go on vacation to a place that they've never been to, how they sort of visualize their life living there, and that is what Tom Birkin does in Oxgoodby. That's why he's asking himself these questions of what happened, what would have happened if I stayed. And I love the connection that people have to place and how places, like people, can become entwined and emotionally connected. I think that that's why settings in stories are so significant, and why I think that the setting of a book is as important as the characters. I could go on and on about this book. It's beautiful and brilliant and breathtaking, and what other B words can I think of? The only word that's coming to mind right now is bountiful. It is bountiful in a way, but I cannot recommend this enough. It is beautiful, very short, but very powerful, and I loved it, and I hope that you will too if you do end up picking it up. So that is A Month in the Country. It truly was the perfect kind of reset book. It wasn't too long nor too short, and it's exactly what I wanted in the moment. And I'm so glad that I read it, and it's making me even more excited for more of the summer books that I've been wanting to read that I haven't had time for. So I did start another one of the summer books that I have been wanting to read since the beginning of the year, since I made my 2026 TBR, and that is Bonjour Tristesse by Françoise Sagan, and I am loving it so far, even though I am, I think, 1.5 chapters into the story. This story is about a teenage girl named Cecile and her widowed father, who is quite the womanizer, and they go to a villa on the Mediterranean, and it's about their summer. So far, we are really getting a sense of the dynamic between Cecile and her father's mistress, as well as a little bit of a love interest for Cecile, and we are really getting a sense of the setting and, like I said, the character dynamics. So far, I am finding it incredibly fascinating, incredibly beautiful. This is such a summery, it's a literary beach read, which I love so much. That is exactly what I've been wanting lately. So far, it's reminding me a lot of The Story of a New Name by Elena Ferrante, which is book 2 in the Neapolitan Quartet. because it has this seaside setting, which is also in The Story of a New Name, and I loved that part of the Neapolitan Quartet. I felt like it was like I could feel the sand, I could feel the sun on my face, and for this time of year, it is absolutely perfect. So I'm loving this so far. I can't wait to keep reading it, and I'm very intrigued by the character relationships, and I'm excited to see what happens. And Françoise Sagan was only 18 years old when she published this. This was her first book or her first story. Baffling. Obviously, I'm reading a French translation, which I should tell you who the translator is. The translator's name is Heather Lloyd, and she has done an incredible job so far. It has been a dream of mine to learn French for years now, and one day, hopefully, I will be able to read this in French, but right now I need to read it in English. So, but I'm really loving it. It has such a beautiful essence and atmosphere, and the characters are so interesting so far. So I'm really, really loving that. And then, like I said, I am still reading A Passage to India. I haven't moved my bookmark, but I'm a bit farther into the story. I'm really loving the narration of the audiobook. The narrator is really great, and I'm still continuing to greatly enjoy the way that E.M. Forster is exploring the relationship between the different British characters in the setting and the country of India. I think it's such an interesting dynamic. One of the main characters is this Dr. Aziz, and his character is really interesting so far. So I still feel like I'm just getting kind of into the story. We're just learning about the characters' dynamics, and it's a little bit slower in that sense, but I'm really enjoying getting to know the characters and seeing how their relationships are developing. So really loving this because E.M. Forster is such a brilliant writer. Willow. So I'm very excited to keep listening to this one. So these are my reading updates as of right now. I loved A Month in the Country. I'm really loving Bonjour Tristesse, and I'm really enjoying A Passage to India. So I feel like I need to end the vlog here because it's getting a little bit long. Now that my hair is blonde and I've updated you on the experience, I hope that you enjoyed. I would love to know how you're doing. Have you been doing anything exciting in your life? Have you changed your hair or bought new shoes or read any really great books? I would love to know. Oh, before I forget, a huge thank you for 90,000 subscribers. I cannot believe that there are 90,000 of you that have chosen to subscribe and that want to watch my videos, that enjoy watching my videos. The fact that you care enough to hear what I have to say and see the artwork that I make and just learn a bit more about me naturally through my videos and my reading taste and giving you recommendations. I cannot thank you enough for being here. It truly means the world to me, and I care about each and every one of you so much. So thank you. You really do mean the world to me, and I just feel so lucky to have you here. So thank you so much for the millionth time. And on that note, I will see you very soon in a new video, and as always, happy reading.